And get the perfect recall. Extremely easy, you're just inconsistent. You need to follow the psychology procedure, mark, association and ignore, and also classical conditioning. Classical conditioning is a stimulus attached towards a response. Here at Cherry Hogs, we don't use treats, we don't use e-collars, we only use long line. Because what we like to do for our philosophy of dog training is that if my stimulus, which is my mark, which is my voice, is my command, if I'm going to start doing this around the house, on the leash, if I'm just going to start to do it on these very basic fundamentals and principles, when I then go off leash, I want my stimulus to be consistent with the stimulus I use on a day-to-day basis. Why is that? Because that's how dogs work, and that is a psychology procedure that most dog trainers will use. But what they don't really understand is if you're using e-collar for this, treats for this, this is where the stimuluses are just becoming a little bit too congulated together. You're using too many stimulus, so then when you go to a basic fundamental and principle and you're just trying to articulate your mark to work, which is your voice, that's why it doesn't fucking work. All that you need is a long line. A long line is a 30 to a 50 foot line that you're going to attach towards you, and every single time you say come, they come in, you then give them the reward, which is the ball, which is the fetch, which is the obedience. At the early stage, yes, you can use treats if you like, just to get the positive association. But as soon as the recall has been taught, you need to get that motivator, the emotional charge, onto your mark rather than the motivator of the treat. And this is where mark, association and ignore comes in. If the dog only comes for the motivator and then they stop when they don't, it means they're not anticipating a correction. So after the mark doesn't work, you bring them in with the long line, negatively reprimand them with a short leash, repeat, you'll have perfect recall. How do I know that? I've done over 2,000 dogs in the last 5 years alone. Extremely simple, you just got to be consistent.